Now, in this series of lecture, we are will be discussing the approach to data analysis by SPSS. So, we all know that day by day, the science grows with the help of research only. And for the research, data is the main soul of the research. So today's agenda will be how we are going to execute the data preparation, data cleaning, and we will be having a brief look on the software part of the SPSS and what are the basic operations that this software offers, and how to carry out the simple data analysis, both descriptive and inferential statistics, and how to interpret the output. It is a program. It will be command and it will give some output, but you have to interpret it correctly. So, as you know, for any research, we tend to collect some data, and the data is mainly collected by the junior most fellow. Just enters some data and gives to the statistician or the seniors. So any faulty data collection is mere and wastage of effort, and it takes a lot of time to correct the data to right enough to be analyzed, and it also becomes a non-productive work. So poor data series is never suitable for analysis, and it gives an misreported findings, so that the main aim of the study is already gone. So for a clinician who is just busy in his clinical part for doing academics, the data gives a scare. As most of us are not very well enough aware around statistics, so we should take help of statisticians, but we should at least learn to how to perform basic statistics, so that we can call it a clinician perform statistics. So we are not taking a role of statistician, but we should at least be enough aware of the process, so that we can do the basic operations. So raw data collected has basically some duplicate errors. The format of the data is different, so that it is not analyzable, and it has a missing values, and many are difficulties that we will see in our rough data. So I'm opening the raw data, as I have said. So we will look first what is the problems we face, so that we can find a solution to it. So you can see we have at least some decent data collection here, so that no gross loss of or missing data here. But always try to look detail of the data entry, so that any error should not be missed before we take into the software part. So one second. So you can see here, always first activate the filter part, so that you can see there is filter, then you go on the keep it on, so that you will analyze every column. First row always represents the variable, and the subsequent row denotes each case and of the data collection. So first ID, next name. But when we come to intervention, we are not sure what is group A, what is group B. Although we have shared our protocol that it is a nasal prong versus nasal mask, but when you share this Excel to your senior, he is not aware of what is group A and what is group B. So basic function that is missing in this Excel is a data dictionary, so that whatever short forms are using, what is those, and with those data dictionary part, we can be able to understand that data much better. And even if some new person is looking into the data, he is not misled. So you can see, instead of two different variables, there are 6 or 7 different entries here, due to just because of some clerical error. So you just see how different entries it can be due to clerical error. So if we import it into the software part and carry out statistics command, then it will be taking it as a different 6 different interventions. So that is totally absurd. So second, duration of stay, you will see these are all numerical or metric data, but when you come to the letter part, it is coming some text in it. So this is not totally not analyzable. And when you command for taking an average or mean, then this will be left out, or the operation will be not be complete. So, and similarly gender, we can see different type of clerical errors are there. And similarly, inconsistency in the weight entry. So basically my point is, so in Excel, when we are not predefining how to enter the data, then this type of mistakes are bound to happen. So this raw data needs to be cleaned, and before that we should have a proper idea of what is our aim, what is the intervention, what is the control, and what is our outcome. The outcome is either categorical or just metric data. So how to minimize the data errors? So before starting data entry, you can have some idea of how to minimize the error, and after finishing data, you have to take care of those errors, even if it occurs. So before starting entry, 3 useful things we can take care of. First, use of computerized data collection. What is computer data collection? Use of some software like Microsoft Access or some database file, where you can have a pre-filled form so that the error of entries are minimized. So if any session we can have, then we can discuss about the databases. But as of now, we are on focusing on Excel. So in Excel, we can have how to have a healthy data entry technique. So first is always maintain a code book or data dictionary. So I have a Excel. So always have a separate tab, a sheet of entry, where you have to maintain that data dictionary, where the variable name, the data type of entry, and that brief description. Because in the variable number you are writing lengthy name, then it will be very difficult to scroll down. And for description part, you have to mention the part of explanation to the variable name. And the code, you have to enter the codings, whatever you have used. Like the intervention, we have used group A, that is mass, and group B, that is the prompts. So in not writing that everywhere is mass, prompts, mass and prompts, we can use group A or group B, or simple mass 1, prompts 2. Similarly, every categorical variables that should be coded and entered. And gender, similarly gender, you have to create the code. So whenever I will get the shift, I will always refer to data dictionary and understand whatever code we are using. And the blank, that is the missing data, they have to mention so that there are no communication gap between the statistician and you. So, and how to avoid the inconsistency, as you have seen the gender. Here gender male, M, male, female, F, that's all inconsistencies in entry. And the weight, the format is also wrong, and in the intervention part is also the format is irregular. So how to avoid the inconsistency? So in Excel there is a beautiful function, use of data validation. How data validation we are using? So in data part, always create data validation, like go to the data, then data validation, and use the list function, so that, and type the variable name, the categories, group A, group B, group C, and number of entries you can make. And what is the beauty? So subsequently, whenever you are using one case, then you can have just a group A, then group B, so that there is no duplication error or no spelling error, so that the intervention remains consistent. Similarly, in gender, I have created male, female. It looks very simple and very effective also for subsequent parts of data preparation. Similarly, for weight part, the data validation, again we can do some work, like you set criteria that this is a whole number or decimal, and it the minimum and maximum limit you can set, so that even if by mistake you are entering 1.2 kg individual, not allowed, so that at the level of entry itself we are screening out the irregularity. And even if we are entering by mistake like 550,000, then it will not allow. So only the within limit numbers you can enter. So like this, duration of stay and this functions can be, we can carry out this function. So use the data validation and preset formatting itself, you can very well minimize your post entry errors. So, and always use one worksheet for a data. Never enter parallel workbooks. It only adds to your work after end of the research. So some wrong methods, like always leave first row for the variables. Never create such merge fields or columns, so that the whenever you import to a export or import to a software, they always take the first row is a variable field. So your data will be read accordingly. Second, never enter variables in the first column. Row is also always the field for the variable. Now after the entry is finished, and before you go for we are going for analysis, first take care of the duplicate entries. So if different persons are entering the data, some person may enter same case file repeated time, so that at the end of your master sheet is completed, the duplicate entries inflate your findings. So like this raw sheet, I will try to examine if it contains any duplicate file. Like I will go to the conditional formatting and see the duplicate values. So it asks for session function, like this will be highlighted as red. Then see, now we have two entries. Obviously, I have deliberately created this duplicate row, but certain parts they are inadvertently duplicated, so that you can take it out. So you have to manually or through formula, you have to take it out. Like formula, data, and remove duplicates. So that you have to first choose the column where the duplicate ID is there and remove the duplicates, and always express the selection so that the whole row will be taken out. So select all, column is the column A, so that
sorry, can you repeat that part? Can you repeat that part? The duplicate, can you repeat that part?
Okay, sure. So I was just undoing it. So there are two way of looking at it. First, so just to identify without removing it. So that first, even before you jump into conclusion that this is duplicate and just take it out by duplicate removal, just first look into the entry whether it is really duplicate error or some clerical error that projects the duplication. So first, use conditional formatting to see whether which part are duplicate. So first, identify the ID part. ID part is the main part of the master sheet. So we never use name in the master sheet. So we are always identifying a case as the ID. So first, in the ID section, use conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, so that whatever rule you set, the cell will be highlighted if that satisfies the rule. So we are setting duplicate values. So whatever entry are duplicate, then that will be highlighted red. So by this rule, we can identify whatever the duplicate entries are there. Now we have to see whether the same file is duplicated here or by clerical error only there is duplication. So that you can see the whole case is duplicated here. So that if we take it as analyze, then it will be inserting the same group only. So now similarly these two cases are totally duplicate in every section. Okay, so we need to take it out. So to take it out, you can either manually delete, or this is some small subset of samples, so you can manually delete. But where there are thousands of samples, then it will be time consuming. So another function is to remove duplicate function. So and you have to command which column you have to focus for taking out the duplication. And if you are focusing on column A, then the selection should be expanded across all columns so that the whole case is removed. So remove duplicate, and you have to only select the column of ID so that any similar duplication in the subsequent columns won't be taken out. So we have taken out. So there are 6 highlighted areas. So out of 6, 3 was taken out. So we have left with the unique cases, not duplicates. Similarly, only another inconsistency, just a trick, you can see here the Abgar score is the junior has entered like 7.8, 7.8, 8.9, 8.9. So this can't be analyzed, and if there are 200 babies, I can't sit days together to separate the data. So whatever another trick in the Excel they have provided, just use the function text to column. Like you have just delete an column and just choose this text to column. So whenever the data is separated with the help of tab, comma, or some delimited character, then you can already separate from two different characters, one column to another column. Let me do it. So first select the column, then to the text to column. So you have to decide delimited characters. So here the delimited character is the comma. So when you choose next, then you have to choose what is the delimiter here, the comma. So when you choose comma, then automatically the first row is different, first column is different, second column is different. So you have to put next and then finish. So automatically it will be different. So then you can rename it of the file. So you can easily, even if there is thousands of files, then you can always have a quick solution to this type of thing. And similar things can be done in the SPSS also, but whatever we can do with Excel, we can do. And always remember to keep the original file intact. Never clean in the original file itself. So during process of cleaning, if you are inadvertently doing some mistake, then always you can go to the original file and see whatever mistake you have done. So always keep a copy of original file so that any wrong cleaning should be reversed. Otherwise, the years of data collection effort will be wasted. So identify duplicates and filter it out. We can use Excel and SPSS for this. How
Hello.